I'm getting blasted with people that are like, anytime I mention Clemson as being elite, oh, they used to be elite. They're done. Didn't you see what happened last year? They're done. They're not elite anymore. You can't talk about them with Alabama and Ohio State, et cetera. But then from the national metrics, the FPI, those sorts of things, the more measured projection of what's going to happen in 2022, it seems like Clemson's jumped back right where they've been for the last 7 or 8 years. Boom, they're going to be number 3, number 4 in the country, something in that range. So I see that out of most of the national people, but fans seem to be going crazy about they're 10-3. They're, this is just a completely different program than it was last year. Jason, where do you think we stand on all this? Because I know where I think it is. I got to see a lot more in terms of a downturn to not think Clemson's an elite program.
Yeah, I got to see it go downhill a little bit more than it did just in one season. Looking ahead to next season, and in particular on the offense, like you said, we know what they got on defense. To me, in particular on offense, there's two things: you got to stay healthy, and you got to get better quarterback play. There's no doubt about it. DJ Ugiagalelei did not live up to expectations last year. Hurt, not hurt. That's just the bottom line. He didn't live up to expectations. And there's a lot of questions surrounding him entering this season, and rightfully so. On the other hand, I think Clemson's got another option sitting behind him that they did not have in Taison Phommachanh last season. Clemson's got another option they can turn to if DJ does not progress the way people want him to progress, the way he's expected to progress. We didn't see a lot of evident progression in the spring game, although I thought his footwork looked better, his decision-making looked better. He was getting the ball out quicker. He looked a little lighter on his feet. I'm just not sure he was that much better. It was kind of hard to get a good gauge on with how fast the defense was on him. They didn't really have time to do a whole lot on offense, and it was very, very vanilla game plan with most of the playmakers on the sidelines. But those are the two things that I'm looking for. I think it's far too early to say Clemson's not elite anymore. There's still a ton of talent all over the field. You just got to get better quarterback play, and you got to stay healthy.
What you got, Pete?
Well, I think it's silly to say that they're not elite anymore based off of what a 10-win season, the 11th 10-win season in a row under Dabo Swinney. But there was a lot to blame to go around last year. Obviously, DJ did not look good. More than half of the starting wide receivers were hurt for the majority of the year. A lot of drop balls. The offensive line, was a makeshift offensive line. You never knew what was playing what position from week to week. It was a round robin. But I do think that the defense this year is going to be even deeper than the 2018 defense which was an all-time great defense. I'm not saying they're going to be better because who knows, but I'm going to say they're going to be deeper. And if you look at Clemson's schedule, it sets up nice for them all the way until you get to the Notre Dame game late in the season. So, I don't see another 3-loss season this year is what I'm trying to say, but we'll see. I mean, they have to win against Notre Dame on the road, and that's really probably their biggest game. But I think that Cade Klubnik coming in as a true freshman is going to be good for DJ. We'll see how long it takes. Will we see another sort of Kelly Bryant, Trevor Lawrence situation where after the 4-game redshirt deal, will they bench DJ for Cade? But I think him nipping at his heels will at least maybe light a fire in him that he didn't have last year.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think Klubnik being on campus and being on the roster and being right on DJ's heels is definitely a good thing for him, no doubt about it. He did not have anybody on the roster that could push him the way Cade Klubnik can this year.
And also, I think that having people like Will Taylor, Troy, who are quick twitch guys will help him. I think close to that receiver, they had all similar receivers, tall guys who were this deep threats. Now you got those quick guys like Winfrey. I think that will help. And then I think number 9, the tight end, I think he's going to be a big help for DJ too, for him to get the ball out faster. But the offensive line, we all know the offensive line got to improve. Your offensive line don't do much. I mean, he just got killed that Georgia game. I mean, we just saw a guy win the national championship that not a great quarterback that had a great defense. So I think DJ's going to be all right this year with a good running game that we have.
Yeah, I would like to on the running game as well, because this is probably the first time under Dabo Swinney's tenure that you have three legitimate RB1 guys. Any one of those guys, Shipley, Moffitt, or Pace, could be the start, the head running back. So as far as depth goes at the running back position, this is probably the deepest that Swinney's had.